Kia ora e hoa, haere mai. Welcome back to the Story Cave. Oh, I haven't wanted to pack it down from Children's Day. It's such a cool place to read books. Have you got a story cave like this? Maybe a special place that you like to just sit and read? It could just be a chair. It could be the end of your bed. I've got a gorgeous photograph of my daughter sitting on the edge of her bed, perched like a little bird reading her books. Hey, I've got a really good book for us today. This is called Hauraki Brew. I helped launch it at the Maritime Museum back in February. And I had hoped to be able to go and read it at the Maritime Museum, so I might just do that. Hey, if you haven't subscribed already, how about you do that now? Then you'll know every time I upload something, or if you hit the bell that is, and you'll know when I head to the Maritime Museum in Auckland to be able to record this story. Okay? Great. Maybe do that after the story now. This is by Nikki Slade Robinson, and it was published with the help of the World Wildlife Fund in New Zealand. Are you nice and comfy? Perched somewhere? Well, let's have a story. Hauraki Brew. Whoosh! Hauraki, the north wind whisked across Te Kapa Moana, Te Moana Nui a Toi, just as it had done since time began. Waves rushed towards the shore, swirling up and over a shadow that lay still and silent beneath the water. Can you see the long shadow? I wonder what it is. The shadow rolled over, stretching. A tiny eye peered around. An empty puku rumbled. Broo, a Broo-dus whale, was hiakai, hungry. What will she eat today? Do you know what a Broo-dus whale like Brew likes to eat? Well, let's find out. Brew rode the salty current past 10 prickly, poky kina. That's 9 more kina than yesterday, she thought. Grrr, her hungry puku rumbled. Would kina be good to eat? Kau, no. They are too taratara, too spiky, especially for Broo-dus whale. Brew turned and swam slowly past the foamy waves. 9 brown leather jackets bubbled past. Where were the rest of them? Grrr, her hungry puku rumbled. Would leather jackets be good to eat? Kau, no, not for a Broo-dus whale. They are too puioio, too tough. But don't they look amazing? I love all the bubbles. Brew blew out of her blowhole. Then she took a deep breath and dived downwards. She slipped under the shadows of 8 enormous eagle rays. Weren't there more eagle rays here last week? Grrr, her hungry puku rumbled. Would eagle rays be good to eat? Kau, no, they are too pororoharoha, too flappy. Brew flicked her tail and sped forwards. 7 sparkly snapper shimmered as they swerved around fishing nets. There were definitely more snapper here yesterday. Grrr, her hungry puku rumbled. Would snapper be good to eat? Maybe for us, but kau, no, they are too kaitara, too scratchy. Is that a jellyfish? Kau, no. 6 frolicking fur seals thought a plastic bag looked like food. Brew pushed the plastic bag away. Weren't there more seals yesterday? Grrr, her hungry puku rumbled. Would fur seals be good to eat? Gao, no, they are too pukutākaro, too playful. And they wanted her to play too. But I think she's busy looking for something to eat, don't you? Hey, can you see what they're playing with? It's rubbish, isn't it? Rubbish floating in the water. Except there's one jellyfish. That's a shame, isn't it? Brew's head hurt from the big noisy game fishing boats that were chasing 5 tearaway tuna. Weren't there more tuna here yesterday? Grrr, her hungry puku rumbled. Hey, can you make that sound with me? Can you go grrr? Are you a big rumbly tummy too? Grrr. Would tuna be good to eat? Maybe for us, but kao, no, they are too tere, too fast for Brew. Brew swam far out into the bay. Woomph! 4 bigger Broo-dus whales burst out of the water, fleeing from the container ship propellers. Kia tūpato! Look out, Brew, they called to her. Don't get run over! Weren't there more whales here yesterday? Make that tummy sound with me. Her hungry puku rumbled louder than ever. Brew turned away from the ships. Splash! Brew spun around. Who made that splash? What do you think it is? It's an orca. Kau, Brew, swim! She flapped her flippers and wiggled her tail and swam faster than ever before until it was too shallow for the orca. The orca turned and headed back out to sea. Phew! That was lucky, Brew. Finally, Brew found 3 small fish and just enough krill. She ate quickly. It was getting harder to find food, but her full puku felt good. She let the sea currents carry her towards home. Can you see the tiny fish? Two craggy crayfish crawled out of their rocky crevices to feed in the night, and now there are 20 kina on the rocks. Brew is almost to her favourite resting place. Kia tūpato! Watch out for that fishing line, Brew! Lots of things that Brew needs to be aware of. Bioluminescence danced through the water. One full, tired whale settled down for the night, letting the sea gently rock her back and forth. Poor Maria, Brew. Good night. And can you see in the boat? The tamariki is saying, "We have enough fish now, Dad. It's time to go home." And that's the end of the story. And what a wonderful story, isn't it? The story of Brew. We learnt quite a bit about Brew, didn't we? Especially about what Brew, or Broo-dus whales, like to eat. Do you remember what Broo-dus whales like to eat? They eat tiny fish and also something called krill, which are very small shrimp-like crustaceans. They're very tiny. We can't see any in the picture. And they don't have teeth like humans or other animals. They have these plates here, which are covered in bristles, which are a bit like the teeth on a comb. And they use them to sieve the water and to take all the krill and the tiny fish out of the water. Have a look at this backdrop here. If you've been to Auckland before, if you live in Auckland, you might recognise the Sky Tower. That's because Brydes whales, like Brew, live in the Hauraki Gulf, in the harbour of Auckland. And in the back of the book, just here, is lots of information about the Brydes whales and how we can help look after them. Did you enjoy that story? It's a wonderful story, isn't it? If you want to find out more about Hauraki Brew, written and illustrated by Nikki Slade Robinson, I'll put some links in the description down below. There are lots of ways you can find out more information. And if you'd like another story, well, you just have to come back and visit again. I've got loads more awesome books just for you. Ka kite, my friend. See ya.